All right, let's dive right in. Today, we're going to pull back the curtain on the architecture of SAP BRIM, that's Billing and Revenue Innovation Management. We're going to demystify how this incredibly powerful solution manages the super complex, high-volume world of modern business, what they call the consume-to-cash lifecycle.
So this is really the fundamental question so many companies are wrestling with right now. There's this massive shift happening, right? We're moving away from simple, one-time sales and into this new world of dynamic, ongoing customer relationships. But here's the thing. This shift creates a huge technical challenge that, frankly, most traditional systems were never, ever built to handle.
I mean, just look at the difference. On the left, you've got the old world, nice and simple product sales. But on the right, that's the new reality. You've got these intricate subscriptions. You've got pay-per-use models, complex revenue-sharing deals. And traditional ERP systems, they just crumble under the weight of it all. Why? Because they can't process the insane volume of what we call ephemeral data. Data that's fleeting, it's there for a moment and then gone, like a single click, a gigabyte downloaded, or a tiny sensor reading.
And this is exactly where SAP BRIM comes into play. Now, it's really important to get this. BRIM is not one single giant application. A much better way to think about it is like an orchestra. It's a synergy, where the combined power of all the instruments playing together is so much greater than any one of them playing alone. It's a whole suite of highly specialized components, and each one is a master of its part, all working in perfect concert to manage that entire flow, from the customer's action all the way to the company's revenue.
To really understand this architecture, I think the best way is to actually trace the journey of a single piece of that ephemeral data we were talking about. So let's imagine a customer downloads just 1 gigabyte of data from a cloud service. We're going to follow that one event step by step as it moves through the entire BRIM landscape and becomes part of a final invoice. So, our little 1 gigabyte download is about to pass through 3 absolutely critical stages. First up is mediation, which is all about collecting and cleaning up the raw data. Then, it moves to convergent charging, where its price is calculated with pinpoint accuracy. And finally, it lands in convergent invoicing, where it gets bundled up with all the other charges for that customer. Let's break each of these down.
Okay, first stop, mediation. Think of this component as the meticulous gatekeeper. It has the tough job of pulling in all this raw usage data from countless sources. We're talking network switches, applications, IoT devices, you name it. Its whole purpose is to filter out any errors, standardize all the different formats, and basically transform that messy, raw data into a clean, perfectly structured record called a chargeable item. It's an absolutely crucial quality control step before a single penny can even be calculated.
So now, our clean data arrives at the absolute powerhouse of BRIM, convergent charging, or just CC. This thing is a massively scalable engine that performs something called rating. Now, rating is just the technical term for calculating a price for an event. It takes our chargeable item and applies all the complex business rules. Is there a special weekend promotion going on? Is this a VIP customer who gets a special discount? Does their plan maybe include a free data allowance? CC figures all of that out instantly.
And this, right here, is the core strategic value of convergent charging. It's the engine that gives a business the power to monetize literally any customer interaction. That 1 gigabyte of data, a click on an ad, a view of a streaming video, CC can rate millions, even billions of these tiny events. And that agility means businesses can launch brand new pricing models or special promotions in just days, not months. That is a huge competitive advantage.
So, convergent charging has done its job and priced our data download. That new charged item is now sent to the great assembler of the orchestra, convergent invoicing, or CI. What this component does is gather all the different charges for one customer over a certain period, all the usage charges from CC, their monthly subscription fee, maybe a one-time purchase they made, and it consolidates everything into a single, unified, pre-invoiced document.
Okay, so CI has perfectly assembled all the charges. The what of the bill is completely ready. But this brings up the next massive challenge, right? How do you manage the how? How on earth do you process payments, manage debt, and handle collections for potentially millions of individual customer accounts at scale?
And that is the domain of our final major component, FICA, which stands for Contract Accounts Receivable and Payable. The easiest way to think about FICA is like an industrial-strength version of accounts receivable. It's a financial subledger that was purpose-built from the ground up to handle the massive transaction volumes that modern subscription and usage-based businesses generate every single day. FICA is really the comprehensive financial brain of the operation.
It manages payment processing using tools like payment lots, which let it efficiently handle huge batches of incoming payments. It runs the entire collections process using sophisticated, automated collection strategies that can prioritize actions based on a customer's risk profile. It automates dunning, the process of sending out payment reminders, and it handles all the complex stuff like installment plans and customer credit, all at enterprise scale.
So, let's bring our orchestra back together for a final look. You've got mediation, conducting the raw data and producing clean, chargeable items. Then convergent charging, our pricing virtuoso, turns those into priced, charged items. Convergent invoicing, the great arranger, compiles everything into a billing document. And finally, the FICA section manages all the money, creating the final financial postings in the general ledger. You see, it's a completely seamless flow where each component's output becomes the next one's input.
And when all these components are working together in concert like this, they deliver some incredible advantages. They give a business the power to monetize any model you can possibly imagine, the scalability to handle billions of transactions without breaking a sweat, the clarity to give customers one single unified bill for everything, and the control to ensure rock-solid financial integrity and compliance.
And that really brings us to the final thought here. The true power of an architecture like BRIM isn't just about the technology. It's about unlocking business innovation. It leaves us with a really fascinating question to ponder. If your company could efficiently and accurately monetize any interaction with your customers, what new products, what new services, or what new experiences would you create next?